I really feel like it's the most tedious but effective way to improve your spelling. Hi, I'm Maddie and welcome to Maddie Made Lang. So I talked a little bit about this in another video about using the Quizlet write function. And I feel like this is a really tedious but effective way to learn spelling and to spell more accurately in your target languages. So when I first was learning Thai, everyone said you should learn how to read the alphabet and learn how to read right away. And I learned the alphabet, so I took a few days to learn the alphabet, and I really didn't know where to go from there, and so I forgot all of it. And so I ended up learning the alphabet again, and I was like, I don't even know what to do with this. I don't think I realized how complicated reading, like Thai reading is, and all of the rules that go into it, and understanding how the tones and the short vowels affect how you read. And so I went to a Udemy classroom. There's like a Udemy class that I did where it taught you how to read. And I read the reviews and people said, oh, it's really boring. But it was such a good like Udemy class. And so I didn't do all of it. I think I did like the first half. And I was like, oh, okay, I want to move on now. Like, I want to break from reading. I just want to learn something else from now. So thanks to the Udemy class, I learned the alphabet more effectively. I learned how to sound out words better, but I didn't really know how to read the tones, how to understand the short and the long vowels, and how those affected tones. But ultimately, I ended up using Quizlet, so I would put the Thai words into Quizlet, and I would just type them out over and over and over again until I got them memorized. So I feel like I didn't really learn how to read at that point. I just memorized how they were written. So I knew how they were said, I could sound them out, and I would just like memorize how they were written by spelling over and over and over. And I would say probably like 90% of what I can write now in Thai is because of me doing that. And so eventually I took a Thai speaking class, maybe after 2 years of learning Thai. And that really put together me understanding the short vowels, the long vowels, things like that. But I really feel like most of what I learned was because of Quizlet and that weird method. And so I don't want to promote not learning how to properly read your target language. I just want to say, with your target language, as you read, I think you can get really good at spelling if you use a right option like that while learning how to read. And so as I took my class, I continued to use Quizlet and to practice writing and spelling and things like that, and my spelling got really, really good. And so I feel like that's a very effective method in order to learn how to spell things correctly. And I realized this also came in handy for Vietnamese. And so with Vietnamese, I would do the same thing with Quizlet, where I would rewrite the same word or phrase or sentence over and over and over. It would make me do it 3 times in a row accurately, but I wouldn't do it 3 times in an exact row. It would be like, this is the phrase, okay, now we're gonna move on to the next phrase. Did you get it right again? No, then start over. And so tedious. But basically, when I would do language exchanges, I was still a beginner, and I'm still a total beginner in Vietnamese. But as a beginner, I would do these language exchanges, and people assumed I knew more Vietnamese than I did because I could spell so well. And so Vietnamese has a lot of accents. They have like, their alphabets have different symbols on them that indicate different letters, because there's like 3 different A's that are different from English. And so I got really good at spelling in Vietnamese the few things I knew. And so the people that I spoke to told me that the other speakers that they speak to that are foreigners learning Vietnamese have a lot of issues with writing in Vietnamese. They spell the accents wrong, they pick the wrong A's, they pick the wrong letters, things like that. That wasn't as much of an issue for me in what I was writing, because I practiced using Quizlet over and over and over again. But now I feel like after doing 2 years of Quizlet and a little bit of it with Vietnamese, I was so worn down with Quizlet. So I still think Quizlet's a very good method, and I totally would promote that, and I tell people to do that, and I still want to do it myself. But I feel so worn down from Quizlet. I personally don't have the ability anymore and motivation to be making flashcards from another app into Quizlet. So right now I'm trying out an app called Glossika. I really wanted an app that had the right function, and so I've heard Anki has that. I think it's Anki. I've heard Anki has that, and I think on the app, it is a paid add-on. I'm not sure. I haven't really used Anki. I've used it a little bit. I didn't really like it that much, but I've heard it's a very good app, and I've heard they have a write function. So right now I'm using Glossika to practice Vietnamese, and I really wanted a write function. What I like about Glossika is basically it says the word in English, and then it says it in your target language, so Vietnamese, twice. And then after that, it has you write it out and copy it. So it has the word in Vietnamese, and then you write it down, or the phrase, you write it down, and it starts quizzing you, and so you have to remember when you hear them say it, how to spell it correctly. And what I also like about Glossika is it has a voice record function, and so the problem for me with a lot of those voice record functions in apps is it doesn't capture when you say it, and so it's telling you, okay, you need to say it a certain way, and so it just like doesn't hear me correct, like it just doesn't hear me, like it doesn't capture my voice. So when I do Rosetta Stone through my library, I do Spanish on there, and basically it can never hear my voice, and it always says, oh, your microphones are not working, it's not picking it up, and it's so annoying, and I hate that. And so what I like about Glossika is it doesn't grade your voice, it really just records it, because Glossika is really, it seems like a big part of Glossika is emphasizing pronunciation and making sure you're saying words accurately and correctly. And so what I like about Glossika is it keeps a log of all of your voice recordings, and so you can hear your progress as you go with your voice recordings. So when I did this with Thai, I think I used Thai with it for maybe 2 months. Within the last year, I was like, oh, I just kind of want to like pick up a little more of intensive studying again with Thai, just for a little bit, just to pick it up a little bit. And I used it with Thai and felt like my pronunciation got really, really good. And I felt like I could see the progress in my voice recordings. I was like, wow, like my pronunciation got so much better in what I was doing. And so that's another thing I really like about Glossika is it's not making you say it in an exact way so that it picks up your audio and it's like really frustrating. It's for yourself to see your progress in pronouncing it, so that you can hear, okay, is this accurate? Am I saying this correctly? This is how I need to fix it, and this is my progress. So that's what I really like about it. So that's all for me today. I just wanted to talk about how I really enjoy certain ways to practice your spelling that uses a phone or an app and things like that. So that's all for me, and I thank you for watching me today. I'm Maddie, and this is Maddie Made Lang. Thank you.